Yep. Overtime. Yeah, overtime. Great. Yeah, overtime has greatly increased last lap crashes, especially big last lap crashes, especially scary last lap crashes, especially at those plate tracks, Daytona and Talladega. Intermediates weren't safe either. Yeah, intermediates weren't safe from the big one either. Big ones happen at intermediate tracks too. Like a big one just big ones happen at tracks like Dover, Phoenix, even short tracks like Richmond and Bristol. Sometimes, yeah, the big one, yeah, the big ones happen at those tracks too. Overtime creates chaos and creates more torn up race cars. A lot of more torn up race cars more and more torn up race cars resulted because of overtime, because of the green white chicken rule. the ra- the race at Nashville the race at Nashville won by Joey Logano this year had hit the record in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series history. The, the race at Nashville had had the most overtime attempts in NASCAR history, with five, not one, not two, not three, not four, but five overtimes, or five attempts at a green white checker. That not five attempts at overtime in a race at Nashville just this season, and it was won by Joey Logano. Joey Logano was actually the king. Joey Logano was actually the king of Boy Joey. You still are the king of stealing wins because of overtime. You surely are the king of overtime. Logano, you still are the king of overtime finishes. Stolen a win from Martin Truex Jr. during an overtime at Martinsville in 2018. Stolen a win in Nashville in 2025. Stolen a win from Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2015 at Talladega. Stolen another win just this weekend. Leading lap 328. And getting the win at Atlanta. After the race is scheduled 325 laps at Atlanta. The scheduled race distance at Atlanta Motor Speedway is 325 laps, 500 miles. But the race this Sunday added two extra laps, counting the caution laps. It was now 328 to 330 laps at Atlanta. Joey Logano managed to lead the last 6 laps, including the last one. Joey Logano really is the king of stealing wins because of overtime. Because of an overtime attempt. There was countless drivers that had wins literally stolen from them because of overtime. 2014 Texas Motor Speedway. Jeff Gordon was actually leading the last laps of the race. Actually had that race won until a late race caution spoiled it, and it allowed him the race to go into NASCAR overtime. And the win was literally stolen from him. And that win would have definitely sealed this deal of Jeff Gordon making it to the Final Four and possibly winning the championship at Homestead. But because of overtime, that win was literally stolen from him. He was literally screwed from that win. Not because of overtime, because the main screw job was actually the playoff format that literally screwed drivers from championships. Screwed Jeff Gordon out of 7 championships, out of a storyline that would change NASCAR history forever. Jeff Gordon wins 7 championships, tying his rival Dale Earnhardt tying his longtime rival Dale Earnhardt Sr. Jeff Gordon wins 7 championships. Hadn't the playoffs have not been, hadn't the playoffs have was not had not taken away, hadn't it the playoff format had not taken that away from Jeff Gordon, and it did, and it did. Jimmy Johnson will tie Jeff Gordon's rival, Dale Earnhardt Sr. He would tie Richard Petty, winning 5 championships in a row from 2006 all the way to 2010. 6 championship 2013. The record-tying championship for Jimmy Johnson in 2016. Having it the playoffs had not been implemented, Jimmy Johnson would have never won. Jimmy Johnson would not have won 5 seasons in a row, and there's no way that Jimmy Johnson would have won 7 championships. 2009 and 2013 would probably be the years that Jimmy Johnson would have won the championship. 2006 and 2009 would have been 2006 and 2009 would have been the years that Jimmy Johnson would have been champion. Hadn't the playoffs had not been introduced. Hadn't the playoffs had not been implemented. Because of the playoffs, and because of the Brian Francis new gimmicky system, Jimmy Johnson won 7 championships, and it could have been Jeff Gordon's time to shine in 2006, and it could have been Jeff Gordon's time to shine of winning 7 championships. Jeff Gordon already beat his rival with race wins. 93 race wins. Dale Earnhardt Sr. has 76. Jeff Gordon tied Dale Earnhardt, his rival, by winning the 2007 night race at Phoenix. Then winning Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s birthday, Jeff Gordon beat his rival with not by championships. He beat his rival with race wins, with the most race wins in NASCAR history, besides Richard Petty with 200. Jeff Gordon beat his rival Dale Earnhardt Sr. with the most race wins. Well, hey, that's better than nothing. Hey, that's better than not beating his rival at all. Jeff Gordon actually beat his rival Dale Earnhardt Sr. but with the most race wins. 93. Almost 100 wins. Could have been 100 wins if it was for overtime. Taking some of those wins away. Jeff Gordon could reach the halfway point of Richard Petty's win. 200. Jeff Gordon can have won 100 races, splitting Richard Petty's record in half. A race wins. Hadn't if overtime had not been displayed. Yeah, many fans suggested even the iceberg. Yeah, even the iceberg had brought it up. Should NASCAR abolish the overtime rule? Should they get rid of the green-white checker, especially at plate tracks at Talladega and Daytona? Should NASCAR axe the overtime rule? In my opinion, I think no. I don't think they should abolish that green-white checker rule, because even though it has screwdrivers over, it actually gave there's actually a positive when it comes to the green-white checker rule. It actually gives drivers more chances of getting great finishes. Like a driver wants a top 5 finish. The green-white checker actually gives that driver another chance at a better finish. It even gives the drivers chances of getting wins. Look at what it did to underdog drivers, like Chase Briscoe, underdog drivers like Brad Keselowski in his rookie year. Look at what it's doing to underdog drivers, especially plate tracks like Daytona and Talladega. It's actually getting those drivers more chances of getting into victory lane for the first time. It's actually getting those drivers more chances of getting great finishes. I do not think. I think NASCAR should keep the overtime rule because it gives drivers more chances. It gives drivers more chances at great finishes. It gives drivers another chance of getting into victory lane. Overtime really helps. Overtime, yes, it did cost drivers wins in the past. It actually also has helped drivers get wins, get great finishes, get wins that they desperately need to get to qualify for the playoffs. Get wins to drivers who really need it. He really need those victories. It gave Harrison Burton a chance at Daytona. Harrison Burton gave him a chance in an underdog victory. It gave one of the most legendary NASCAR teams a chance to get into victory lane again. Wood Brothers. The team that once had David Pearson. When the late David Pearson was driving the number 21, driven by the Wood Brothers. When he won, the same driver that won the 1976 Daytona 500 in a very unique way. I should NASCAR keep the overtime rule? In my opinion, I think yes, I think they should keep the overtime rule. Yes, I think they should keep the overtime, the rule of the green white checkered. Because look at what it's doing. It very, very few races ended under yellow flag conditions. No more controversy. No more controversial moments that happened in the 2004 Aaron's 499. It happened. It's happened less and less frequently because of overtime. It's giving drivers more chances. It's giving drivers another chance to get a better finish. It's giving drivers another chance at winning. I want to know. So, this is my story of overtime of overtime, in the history behind overtime, in the history behind stages. We're not done talking about Brian France.